This is Wednesday, the 30th of September, last day of the month. And this morning I want to look at Euro versus the New Zealand dollar. If we start on the left side, you can see that we have kind of a mixed data on the larger trends here. The weekly trend still very bullish for the Euro versus the New Zealand dollar. Our 3-day trend's kind of a mixed bag here. And our intraday chart shows primarily bearish sentiment. If we go over to last night's reports, briefly there, then we can see that we had several reports out of the euro that were negative. So that's part of what's going on there. That was around 5 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to drill down to the daily and 4-hour charts here. And so as we look at the euro versus the New Zealand dollar, you can see on the 1-hour chart, the 1-day chart, the daily chart here, that price is still so far above the Kumo area, and so far we're finding support in this S1 area. You can see that area has been an area of support recently for the euro versus the New Zealand dollar. One distinction though is that we have this area right in here, kind of a thin straight line or on the bottom side of the Kumo, and sometimes when we have that line like that, it invites price to walk through the Kumo and end up down below it. So I'm kind of watching this one right now. Currently it is qualified as a short, since we have the 4-hour Coppic curve crossing down over here. That occurred pretty soon after those reports came out this morning, and you can see where we had a move back down below the 4-hour Kumo in here and coming into the 16-hour Kumo here, right in the middle section. So too early to say whether it's going to fall down into this area and move below 1.7400. Way too early for that, but we are in a bearish trend at the moment. We could also look at the euro versus the Japanese yen. That pair is still below the daily Kumo, as you can see, but our 4-hour is not. So I'm watching this one to see if we get a 4-hour cross down back below the zero line over here. So I'm going to set some alerts for that in case that were to happen. You can see the 4-hour Kumo is already below the 16-hour Kumo on this one, reflecting the fact that it's still below this area of resistance on the daily chart as well. So one of the things I also look at is I'll look at the Coppic curve and look at where price was when Coppic curve peaked on the daily chart, and you can see that we've had a series of lower highs. So this area up in here would represent the highs back from this peak of the Coppic curve, and this area represents the peak from in here. So we have a series of lower highs so far. But right now we do not have a series of lower lows. You can see the low is here, and then this low represented by here, except for the fact that that has not crossed back above the zero line. So kind of a mixed thing here on the euro versus the Japanese yen. And so I'm drilling down and watching the euro New Zealand dollar and watching this area, as I just mentioned, this S1 area for possible support. If we fall through that, though, could just keep on going for a little while. So watching that one. Hope you have a good day trading.